ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, questions. Raise your hand. Let us get the handheld mic to you. Let us know who you are, who you're with. First question, middle of the room.
Rod Baxley, Fayetteville Observer. Guys, when you watch Michigan State on film, what stands out?
They're a physical team. They're good defensively. They've got a really good half-court defense. They like to push the pace in transition. We did some scouting personnel, obviously, last night. So, we're ready to go out and compete and play against a good team on Saturday. Harrison?
Yeah, to add on to what he said, they're a physical team. They got a pretty good guard in Walker, who's been averaging about 20 points a game. He's tough, make shots out the dribble, make three-point shots. They got good big men, 4 big men that they rotate through, so they have a lot of depth and a lot of strength. And they play Big Ten basketball, which is more physical.
Front row.
Hi, for both of you guys. North Carolina has been an elite program forever. Michigan State more so only the last 25 years or so with Coach Izzo, but that encompasses your entire lifetime. I wonder how you guys think when you hear Michigan State compared to how maybe older fans think.
Yeah, it's kind of a surreal moment to think about. For the right to go to the Sweet 16, you got to face Tom Izzo and Michigan State. They're a great team that up and down year, but they're preseason top 5, and they earn their right to the tournament, and they're a really good team. We're ready to go.
Cormac?
Yeah, two, like you said, historic programs, obviously very well known in college basketball, especially over the last 25 years. So you can't ask for anything better in March Madness to go up and play against great teams, great programs, and come away with a great win.
To our right.
Brett Friedlander, SaturdayRoad.com. I'd like both players to address this. How much is toughness going to play into tomorrow's game, and how much do you two factor into that?
Yeah, I think it starts and ends with toughness for us. That's something we've prided ourselves on all year, is living in the trenches, being tough, playing gritty, doing the dirty work, doing the little things. That's when we're at our best, and that's what fuels us. And so tomorrow's no different. We got to bring the toughness, we got to bring the edge, bring the fight. And Michigan State's a tough team, and the Big Ten's a tough conference, but we're a tough team, and we've shown that all year, and that's really what gets us going.
100% to add on what he said. We play small ball where there's a lot of small lineups, people kind of playing down their position, and a lot of teams will come in with the mentality of trying to bully us, and we feel like a lot of teams have done that throughout the year. They thought that was the scouting report or whatever, and I feel like we've always stepped up and for the challenge, and I think we're ready to go tomorrow too.
Back of the room.
Michael Coe, WCHL and ChapelBoro.com. This is for both Harrison and Cormac. Elliott said he played terrible yesterday against Wagner. What have you guys said to him to just keep his spirits up as he prepares to face a really good backcourt in Michigan State?
Elliott, he's a freshman, so he was a 5-star freshman coming out. He reclassed up, so he should still be in high school right now. So for him to be doing what he's doing, point guard on the #1 team in the country is pretty amazing in itself. And as a freshman, you have up and downs. There'll be games where you play good, games where you play bad. And for him as a great player, there's not much you really need to say to him, because he knows he played bad. He knows what he needs to do. He knows what needs to be done, as the rest of us.
Yeah, Elliott, I've said this all year, Elliott is an incredibly mature freshman. People always like to attribute guys making freshman mistakes and whatnot. One thing Elliott doesn't do is he's not a freshman level teammate. He's an incredible teammate. His maturity is far beyond his grade or his class, and that's something that he's shown all season, is his ability to be a great teammate, continue to bounce back from tough games, tough performances. And so we have no doubt, not a single doubt, that he's going to continue to make incredibly big plays for us on Saturday and down the stretch for us, because that's who he is. He's a great player, he's a great teammate, and so we've got all the faith in the world in him. We know how good he is, we know how much we need him, and how much this team values what he brings, and so can't say enough good things about Elliott, and we've got not a doubt in our mind that he's going to come ready to play, because that's who he is.
Middle of the room.
Adam Smith with Inside Carolina. Hey, guys. For both of you, just wondering, as you closed the book on Wagner last night, what sort of the overall assessment of how you guys played was, and how that matches up with maybe what you think about you need to improve on as you keep trying to advance in this tournament?
Yeah, I think basketball's a game of up and downs, and there's always things to learn from any game you play. Obviously, being a first-round game, these games can get a little tricky at times. The teams you play are unique. They're from far different conferences that, you have a short window to prepare for. And so, look, Wagner's a good team. They're a conference champion. They play a unique style. And so I think the part of the game last night took a little bit of adjusting to how they were playing. I think us just settling in, kind of finding our rhythm. There's a lot of things we can improve on. I think taking care of the ball, we were a little sloppy with it. I think our pressure was a little, low at times. So there's obviously things you can learn from and grow from every single game. But, the big takeaway is that we were able to find our groove, our rhythm. We won the game by 28 points. We played well down the stretch, and we're a hungry team. And we know what it takes to kind of move forward in this tournament, and the level just raises every round you go to. And so obviously with Michigan State coming up tomorrow, that's a challenge and an exciting opponent for us to go and play against. So we're excited for that. We, are obviously, we wanted to win the game on Thursday, and we did that, and now we're moving on to Saturday.
Yeah, I thought Cormac, that was a pretty long answer, but I think he answered. He spoke for the both of us.
Back row.
Blake Froling, Spartan Media Network. Cormac, for you, you played Michigan State last year at Notre Dame and had a big game. What do you remember from that matchup last year, and how different do these Spartans look compared to last year?
Yeah, they bring back a lot of the guys they had on that team last year. I think, at least 4 or 5 of the guys who played major minutes in that team. So a lot of similar guys, but, year to year things change, and I think obviously they're a little bit different this year. And we're different. I'm with a different group, and this is, I couldn't imagine a better team to go and take on Michigan State than the team we're with, we've brought to Charlotte here. And we've been saying it all year, like our chemistry, our togetherness, I think that's one of our biggest strengths. And so leaning on these guys going into tomorrow and just going out and competing and having fun.
To our right.
Hey guys, David Hale with ESPN. In the game last night, you had RJ and Armando both moved up in the all-time scoring record list for North Carolina, which they noted was a cool thing to do at the same time. I'm kind of curious, though, as much as they've had great individual careers, do you see them as sort of the sum is greater than the individual parts, and the way that they work together, they manage, lead the team together, and sort of the back and forth that the two of them have together as a group?
Harrison.
100%. They've been here for 4 and 5 years respectively. They've been in the Final Four on the run. They've also seen the bad side of it, of not making the tournament last year, and then just having their leadership. As me personally, I never played in the NCAA tournament before, and hearing their thoughts, their voice of just kind of treating it as another game and not trying to put too much pressure on yourself, because knowing that if you lose, you're out. Now is the time where one bad game, one bad loss, one bad defense possession can get you eliminated and into your whole season. And for them being there for us, it's such a calming aspect. Having RJ, he can score whenever he wants, and having Armando down low, he demands a double team. Just having both those on the team makes everything easy for me.
Want to try for me?
Yeah, I totally agree with Harrison. I think I speak for the both of us in saying, those two guys were a big part of the reason why we came to Carolina. Is we know how talented they are. We know how historic they've been for this program. And playing alongside great players is what every great player should want to do. And it makes our jobs a lot easier. It's a luxury to have. And so we're fortunate to have two guys who are as accomplished as they are. And, we collectively are looking to help them out. They help us out. And that's something that we kind of thrive on, is those two, and, how they lead us, how they impact the game on the court and off the court.
Again, middle of the room.
Harrison, wanted to ask you, since Cormac was so good with the other question, for you, you've talked about not playing an NCAA tournament before, but also not maybe being hyper-focused on watching every game and things like that. Since you are in it now, do you find yourself, soaking it in more, trying to check other games, other scores, or just, being, do you find yourself sort of really getting into the experience more of it?
I think definitely I watched more games when I was not in it, just because I had more time to think about other teams and not really worried about who we're playing or the scouting report we're doing. But, you know, for us this year, we've watched so much film. Right now we're watching so much film at Michigan State, whether it was Wagner, now it's Michigan State, you know, just watching film of them. And I mean, watching extra film on Synergy, that it's kind of hard to watch other games. It's kind of get burned out watching all that basketball. But, you know, for me, I'm just happy to be here and just trying to soak in the moment and have a great time.
Back to the room.
This one's for Cormac. You played in the NCAA tournament before, obviously. Coach Davis, earlier this week, he said he broke down the NCAA tournament into sort of 3 separate tournaments. The Charlotte tournament, if you win, you go to LA. If you win, you go to Arizona. Was that sort of a brand new way of thinking about this event for you as someone who's played in it before?
Yeah, absolutely. I really like that framework. I thought that was really helpful for us. You know, everyone likes to talk about 6 games to win a championship, but 6 games is a lot of games. And I think for us to take it piece by piece, focus on Charlotte first and the task at hand. You know, we're halfway done with the Charlotte tournament, and so being able to focus one at a time, I think is very important, to not get ahead of yourself and not get caught up in the long road to Phoenix, but, you know, just staying focused on what you can control and preparing to, you know, win the games that you come to play.
We do have some colleagues on Zoom. If you have a question, please use the raise hand function. We'll get to you as well. Any other questions here in the room? Nope. Any on Zoom? Okay, thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Good job.